everyone, welcome back to my channel Lorene HD. Today we're going to talk about a moment that is pretty awful, to be honest, which is the moment where a herpes positive learns that they have herpes. And why is it an awful moment? Because it's a time where you kind of reevaluate a lot of things, like the decisions you've made, your health, your future, the lifestyle you have, all kind of crazy questions. And well, I guess I'm here to try to soothe it out for you. So first of all, breathe. You're still alive. You're not going to die. Technically you are, but that's because you're human, not because you have herpes. Relax. So I don't know how your physician or a gynecologist broke the news to you, or how much they've told you about herpes, or how much you actually heard and remembered, but chances are that if you are watching this video, you are actively seeking information, which means you are on the right track. I'm saying this because I know someone who didn't seek information for months and was okay with just learning how to medicate the physical sores, but pretty much neglected the emotional impact that having herpes does to you. I know other people who were too scared to even look it up on Google for the fear of an impromptu ad to pop up while they were in company. So all of this to say, 1 brownie point for you. You're already doing great. Okay, so there's probably a couple things you already know about herpes, like that it doesn't have a cure, meaning there's no treatment that will eradicate. Meaning there's no treatment that will eradicate the virus from your body. The second thing you might already know is that it's highly joked about in culture and looked down and touched behaviors like promiscuity and bad personal hygiene and irresponsibility, blah 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 blah. But there are things you may not know that you will be happy to hear, like how common it is. 1 in 6 Americans has it. 417 million people have genital herpes around the globe. So if you feel alone in this, you technically aren't. You can catch it even during protected sex. Yay to protected sex! But herpes is a skin condition, meaning it's transmittable from skin to skin contact rather than sexual fluids. Meaning, if you have a sore that stands outside of the zone protected by the condom can't do much to help you protecting yourself. How harmless it is. It's just a sore. It's just a sore. You've seen or dealt with sores before. You're even likely to have used medication to cure your herpes sores in the past. Remember when you had chickenpox or shingles?
Welcome back, old friend!
More seriously, you can find everything you need to know from a medical standpoint on the CDC's website or World Health Organization, which is linked in the information under this video box. So you'll probably be wondering, if so many people have it and it's so harmless, why is there such a stigma? Good fucking point. But it is far less interesting to me to understand why there is such a stigma as it is to not let it dictate the perception you have of yourself and how you should feel about your newly found condition. So moving forward, there are 3 things I want you to know and remember every time your mind will wander in dark places. Wander in dark places. The first one is that you are not the first. You know how most of the time when people tell you you're not the first one to have done something or said something and it makes you feel so unspecial? Well, this is one of those times. You got herpes, it doesn't make you that special. Like I said before, you're now part of a pool of 1 in 6 American who has genital herpes and who feel and experience the same physical and emotional pain as you are. The reason why you haven't heard of it is because people either don't know they have it, which is the case for 80 to 90% of people who have genital herpes, or they don't feel safe to talk about it. You can't tell who's the 1 in 6 American because herpes has no face, or better, it has many faces. From mom and dads running after their toddlers or enjoying a soy latte, caramel frappuccino, extra macchiato, The hot young shots wearing expensive clothes and too busy to look away from their phones, to ladies taking selfies at every street corner, to burgeoning teens who are just getting started and exploring the world on their own terms, to homeless people looking for a dime and a smile. Herpes is democratic and it certainly doesn't discriminate. The second thing I want you to remember is that it's as devastating as you will make it to be. Herpes is emotionally challenging because it comes with a set of prejudice that people can shove in your identity without your consent. But at this stage, let's not think about what others think of herpes or herpes positives, and let's think about how you perceive it and how you see yourself. Personally, I find that I can be my own best friend, reminding myself of my achievements, supporting the decisions that I made, and maybe recognizing that behind a mistake there was always a good intention. But I can also be my worst enemy, disguising my fears into realities and just bringing myself down and taking my own self to places that are dark and not where I don't enjoy being. So when you're at that same crossroad where you can either be your best friend or your worst enemy, try to be your best friend. Try to be your own advocate. Don't let the single narrative take over and define your own narrative. And the third thing that I want you to remember is that doctors are not the only ones who can help. Yes, herpes is a medical condition, and as such, there's no one better than a doctor to tell you how to cure or prevent sores. But what will make you feel better emotionally is likely not to come with a prescription. When you first get diagnosed, your worst possible fear is for someone to find out what you just caught, because you project that somehow they will judge you for it. However, from personal experience, let me tell you that very unexpected things happen when you just open up, most of all when you do so from a place of confidence and self-acceptance. I have never heard so much of my friends, relatives, coworkers, strangers' sexual health as when I gave up self-inflicted shame and was courageous enough to be a little more vulnerable. And what that did is that it made me realize that STIs are just much more common than the amount of conversations that happen around it. And it made me realize that, people can really be awesome if you give them a chance to be so in the first place. So what I would advise you to do is to find someone you trust to have a constructive exchange, whether that's a relative, family, someone at a support group, your doctor, and just open up, because herpes is a skin condition before it is an STI, and 1 in 6 Americans has it. As usual, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, or you can go on my blog in the holler section if you want to do so privately. I also know that usually thumbs up mean that you like a video, but I'm less interested in knowing whether you liked it or not as much as I am in knowing whether it was helpful or not. So if you think this video was helpful, just leave a thumbs up, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.